Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in this week. This is episode 11 in the Rye podcast with Curt, Fletcher. My guest this week is Stephen Michael Quezada, who you'll recognize from Breaking Bad. He played DEA agent Gomez, or Gomi, everyone likes to call him. Super nice guy. I've known this guy for probably close to 20 years now. And, we've done several shows together and just super nice guy. And it's a lot of fun to talk to. So let's go talk to Stephen Michael Quezada, everybody. What's up, Stephen?
What's up, Curt? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm hanging in there, man.
Yeah, it's been a crazy year, huh?
Dude, man, me and you, man. We were gonna have a year, bro. I was starting to book some stuff up, and here we are. Look, I'm here, and you're there, and it sucks, man.
Yeah, it does suck, man. How's the family? Is the family doing okay?
Yeah, we're hanging in, man. I think we should be all right to the end of the year.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna be much of a Christmas, but
yeah,
I mean, who cares, right? I mean, we don't really care about that, but
yeah,
I think we could sustain ourselves till January pretty good, and then come January, man. I need to work, man.
I hear you, buddy.
I need to put all those that I had on the books back on the books. And start figuring out how I'm gonna do it, man. Usually we survive everything, man. There ain't nothing that kind of stops the entertainment industry, man.
Oh, I know. It's crazy.
We learned that we're not.
Yeah.
Right. That we're not untouchable, man.
Yep.
We learned a valuable lesson, man.
Yeah, it's scary, man. It's hard to I have no idea what's gonna happen with it, there's already comedy clubs closing down.
There's just how do you not do business for a year and then survive?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, unless you're smart and saved money and you had a stash of money, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because me and those guys rely on week to week, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They're week to week just like we are, man.
Mm-hmm.
They survive in that same universe, and for that not to happen, I snuck out, man, and did Myrtle Beach.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a couple months ago, man. But that's it. That's all I. And then I came home and then I quarantined.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, that's ridiculous to go, work a week and then 2 weeks without being able to, do anything. It's almost like a punishment, man. So I didn't do it again. I worry about my mom, man. I'm not really worried about me, but my mom's 86, and we know that they're the most vulnerable.
Yeah.
So that's what scares me, man.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be able to still, hang out with my mom. So
yeah, she's here in Albuquerque.
Yeah, she's still down here.
Cool.
Same place I grew up. Yeah, she's still there, man. She don't want to leave, man. We tried to gang up on her the other day, man. Me and my two other brothers saying, hey, you could just move from house to house, and sell that house and spend that money however you want,
Mm-hmm.
She's like, well, I'm leaving that to you guys. And we're like, we don't care about that, man. That's yours. You earn that.
Mm-hmm.
Sell it, spend the money however you want, man. But she doesn't want to leave her house, and I get it, man.
Yeah.
I don't. It's sort of like the reason why we don't want to go back and live with our mom.
Yeah. Which I'm doing right now, actually.
It's hard though, man. It's not an easy thing to do, man. It's not. Even though you get along and you may love your mom and everything else, man, it's still not your own.
Yeah.
I think she feels the same way. I don't want to be in your house. What do I want to be in your house for? Yeah. I have my house. You only do it when you need to. Is my point, right? You only do that when you absolutely need to. When there's a transition happening. Because I've been there. Hey, I did it twice. I went home. During my career. I was like, hey, I need to come back for a minute.
Yeah.
I need some help for a minute. And they do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you're there for like 4 or 5 months and you're already trying to find the exit, man. You're trying to figure out how can I do this on my own again, man? Because
That's what I'm trying to figure out now, and it sucks without making any money. So,
well, now you're stuck. Now you got. I know you were booking up, man, and so it's kind of sucks, man, for you because, and for me too. I felt I was transitioning to the next kind of level.
Mm-hmm.
Me and you have been at this for a long time, man.
Yeah.
So we were transitioning. Both of us were starting to transition up, and then they went, wah!
Yeah.
You're like, what? You guys are kidding me, man. 35 years down the toilet, it seemed like,
Yeah, I know.
But it'll be there. It'll be there when it's. I mean, we'll eventually have to open up.
Yeah, we will.
How we do it, we don't know that. Me and you, we're not. We're not privy to know that. Even as a commissioner, I don't know that. But all I know is that I think 6 more months, and we'll just have to live differently, man.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to figure out how to mask up, and for us, we can't do comedy, but it's at Myrtle Beach when I went up, man, they had hand sanitizer up on the stage and a spray.
Yeah.
So I would do that, and I'd spray the mic.
Mm-hmm.
After everybody would perform, So
yeah, that's good. I've been doing some outdoor stuff. That's been fun.
Oh, have you?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not bad.
I haven't done any of that. Well, there's nothing. We couldn't even get people in Albuquerque to go inside to do to a comedy show, let alone outside. So I mean, you're somewhere else where people are more,
mm-hmm.
about entertainment and like to enjoy their entertainment.
Yeah.
Here for some reason, man, it's just a battle, man. If you're not a Mexican band, good luck with trying to draw a big crowd, man.
Oh yeah.
Or a national known act,
Uh-huh.
If you're a local guy, man, they could really give 2 shakes about you, man.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's just the way it's always been.
Uh-huh.
I never let it hurt my feelings, I just because then I go to Dallas and I sell out, and I go, go to other places and I sell out, and I'm like, okay, well, those where my fans are.
Uh-huh.
It sucks. They should be here where you come from, but it just
exactly.
It doesn't happen here, man. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah. So last time we hung out was in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and man, that was so much fun running into you there.
Great, man. It was
so
great.
you're telling me about some movies that you're in. So I went and watched them all.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. They're super cool, man. I loved. I really loved your character in 3 from Hell. That was awesome. Do you mind telling the story about how you got into that movie?
Or how that worked out for me?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I was at home and my phone rang, and is an LA number, and usually I don't answer, but I'll answer an LA number because sometimes your agent's calling you from a different phone or whatever, right? So I'm like, oh, okay. So I answer it, and the guy goes, "Is this Steven?" And I said, "Yeah, Steven, man." He goes, "Hey, right on, man. This is Rob Zombie." And I go, "Yeah, right, yeah. Like Rob Zombie's gonna call my ass, man." And he's like, "Dude, who would call you and imitate Rob Zombie?" And I go, "Well, that's a good point, And he's like, "Hey, man, I want you to do. I'm gonna do the sequel. I'm gonna do my next sequel from my my trilogy, I guess, and I want you to play a part in it, man." And I'm like, "Wow, okay, that sounds cool." Right. And then, so I wasn't quite sure, and then I called my agent and I said, should I do this, Rob? I mean, I don't do movies like that. I don't even watch movies like that. I'm a big chicken, man. I don't, I like action, but I don't like horror or whatever. I've always been, I think since The Exorcist, when I was a kid,
Mm-hmm.
My brothers took me to go see The Exorcist, and they just scarred me for life.
Mm-hmm.
And now when you watch The Exorcist, it's kind of funny. It's not, it's not what you're used to when you see horror now,
Yeah.
But it still freaks me out.
Mm-hmm.
It's still, to this day, I can't watch that shit, man. So I didn't know I wasn't sure if I should do that, man. And then my agent's like, "You're totally going to do a Rob Zombie movie. What's wrong with you?" because they're always like, keep yourself relevant so you can work, right? That's the problem with this business that we're in is you have to try to keep yourself relevant because those are the ones who work.
Yeah.
Right. And those are the ones they want to work with, That's why my career had changed from Breaking Bad, because all of a sudden I was relevant, right? I had auditioned for millions of things before that.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't get nothing because who was I? I wasn't nobody. I wasn't relevant to the industry. I didn't sell tickets, so but I think that was because of Breaking Bad. Rob Zombie cast his own thing, man. You don't go through casting with Rob Zombie movies. He in his mind decides who he wants to play these characters. Yeah.
That's
so
cool.
he had me, and then the other character was the guy from the George Lopez show.
Oh yeah. That's funny.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, we had a blast though, man. What a super sharp, cool dude, man. Rob Zombie is.
I bet, man. I love his music. Like, I've seen him in concert a few times, and it's just, his show is always super creative. It's always one of my favorite shows to see. He really puts on a show. So it's cool.
I could imagine. He's super intelligent. He's super talented. Super nice. Him and his wife are like the nicest people.
Yeah.
And then his name's Rob Zombie. It's just crazy. But he was smart enough to know that if he came up with something, that would help him with his
absolutely
career.
Yeah.
And he did, man. And then a musician to become a director and a writer.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, man.
You know what? He actually started out on Pee-wee's Playhouse. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I can't remember what his job title was on there, but yeah, he was on Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Well, he was in LA trying to make a living, man.
Yeah.
So, you take whatever gig they offer you, man.
Yeah.
Even if
I just learned that recently. It's pretty.
Oh, did you read that?
Yeah, pretty funny.
Now he's starting to come clean with where he came from. Pee-wee's Place. That's fun. That's hilarious. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, I also what's the name of the other Girlfriend's Day with Bob Odenkirk.
Oh yeah.
That was cool, man. That was a good movie.
I thought it was a great movie, man. I thought it was creative and not super long, right? It was just enough, right, to have a good movie, and they didn't try to stretch it out to make it this or that. It was just kind of to the point. And Bob Odenkirk's just the shit, man.
I bet he's awesome to work with, man. He's just so funny.
Yeah, and he's another good dude, man.
Yeah.
It's amazing how you find out that the people who I think really find success are good people, right? We're in a very competitive sort of business, and when you find yourself working with comedians that are just like, they're young, they're nobodies, but they're like douchebags, and they're just very cocky, and they're very, they never go nowhere, man, because people don't want to work with people like that.
Yeah.
You just don't want to work. You don't want to be around that vibe, man. Our job's hard enough. And then to have that vibe around us all the time, man, is just, that's why I give you guys credit, man. You guys did more open mic than I was able to do, man.
Actually, when I started out, man, there was only one open mic a month. It was rough for a while, and then my friend's band let me open for them all the time, so I was getting stage time that way.
That's what I would do, right? I was a bar comic, man, because when I started, there was no open mic. And then what I did is I toured, around the state with some bands, and then we both worked with Ron, who just kind of booked whatever room would let him in, and so that's how but those were actually bars. They weren't really comedy club. He didn't book comedy club. He wasn't a comedy club booker, man. No matter what he wrote in his book, he didn't book comedy clubs. That's me and you learned that differently later when our careers got us to the point where we were actually doing comedy clubs. It was different. But I think where we learned, though, made us stronger in a room, man. Because
for sure.
When we go into a welcoming room, man, we go in there, we rip that up, man. We're like, oh, God, thank God, it's a comedy crowd that likes comics, and so we learned the other way. I think that's something that a lot of comics don't get,
Yeah.
And that's like what open mic is too, man. You kind of just, it's mostly just a bunch of comics sitting, and they're the worst. They're the worst audience you could possibly to go work on material in a crowd full of comics is a really hard place to do it.
Yeah.
But if you can get them to laugh, then you know you're like onto something too. Mm-hmm. So that's the good news of that, right? That's the torture of that. You're like, hey, they laughed at that. I'm onto something here. I'm gonna have to go and really work on this and make this, make this valuable to me. But we both come from that, right? We both come from that. And like you're like my favorite comic, right? I mean, if I could be Curt Fletcher, I would, right? But I can't, right? That's Curt Fletcher's only Curt Fletcher. Mm-hmm. His mind only works that way. He's the only one where his mind works. I wish I could be that, but I'm not, right? And so for young comics out there, it's okay to like somebody or be a fan of somebody, but you got to find your own way, man.
Yeah.
To be a comic, to try to emulate another comic, you're not being true to yourself.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I always say, like, I can go to an open mic and close my eyes and I can figure out which comic they're trying to be, like just based on their not just their material, but their voice, even
their tempo, the inflections of saying things, right?
Yeah.
They're trying to emulate that. What they think is funny is the delivery of the joke and it may be other material, but you can tell that they're not being true to them. And then when they get off and you talk to them, they don't talk that way.
Yeah.
And you're like, what happened? What happened to the comic guy, man? Because I even when I started, and I don't judge them, I just hope they find their way. When I started, that comic guy was a character I kind of created. Mm-hmm. But, I think because I did so many right away, I was able to realize in a real quick amount of time that I just needed to be me, man. And because that's when it would hit the most, right? When I'd find myself talking about my family and about me, you couldn't help but to be you during the moment, right? And then you realize, wow, that was the best reaction I got. Because crowds aren't stupid, man. They know. Yeah, they could totally tell when you're not being, authentic and truthful. And, I guess some people can get away with that, but I wasn't able to do that. But it was good. It was a good lesson for me to learn. And I was able to focus on, Michael Quezada, the comedian. And I've grown from that, I've grown from that. Solid.
Absolutely, man.
I always go up with confidence now because, I think I'm confident that I could sell myself.
Oh, for sure.
Instead of selling someone else's style. Else. And like I said, although I may be fans of those, and I'm envious a little bit, I'm like, God, I wish I could do that. I wish that was me, man. I'd take that to the bank, But it's not you, right? It's not you. It's, so you could be a fan of somebody, but you got to find your own way. Yeah. You did that right away, though. You've been true to you from the day I saw you. When you first were starting comedy, I went, this dude he's original. He is him. He's funny,
I appreciate it, man.
And
I didn't know who to emulate. That's why.
Well, you didn't. Yeah, you didn't. You didn't have to. That's what was cool. Some people don't. Right? Some people just, they're just funny because you weren't even really. It wasn't really about the character or anything. It was really about your material at first. I think you developed your character and who you are later. But I think
once I got more comfortable on stage, it was easier to do that.
Yeah, and I think, but what gave you the opportunity to do that, Curt, was because you're a good writer. You're funny. You would look at things in a way, and in a quick way, right? For like, the difference between me and you is you go up, make your point in 2 lines. And I have to write like a 15-minute bit.
Yeah. I've tried doing that, man, and it's so hard. I just can't. I can't do it that way. That's why I always have to do set up punch. That's so much easier for me.
And you're great at it. And I think that's a harder way to write.
Yeah.
For me, it's like I'll pick something, and it's got to be the minimum of 5 minutes, or I'm not loving it, man. If I can't get 5 minutes out of it, I'm not. Yeah, I'm like, I toss it to the side, man.
That's interesting.
And then it'll come back later when I do figure it out. And I'm like, oh shit, yeah, okay. And then I'll add it to that. And then I'll bring it back, and then it's at that 5 minutes. You know?
Okay.
And I've always just been that way. I like to take a subject and just beat it to death.
Yeah.
As much as I could possibly beat it to death, that's what I want to do. And I think it's just that stems from just because I came in as a playwright.
Oh yeah, that's how you started out, right?
Yeah, I came out as a playwright and a theater actor, right? So I did theater, right? So it wasn't that I had to do what I felt was comfortable for me, man, and that was kind of a long form kind of thing. Like, so my first play that I wrote was called The First Chicano President, which was, which turned in later to my beginning of my material as a comedian, right?
Okay.
So, but it was, I took that subject and I wrote this really funny sketch. It was a sketchy kind of play. It wasn't, it wasn't like this genius play. It was just went from sketch to sketch to sketch. And it was just sort of followed this young kid as he grew up. And then as he grew up to be the president of the United States. So it was just about his upbringing and not really focused on this guy being the president, but him, growing up in a Chicano family with, his cousin lived under his bed and, all this really funny stuff. And they were just scenes is really what they were, a series of scenes as he grew older, right?
That's
and
cool.
People freaking loved it, man. They thought it was, and we were just trying to create work for ourselves, man, as actors, when you go leave your home and go study Shakespeare and come back and the reality of you being a Mexican right, really hits you for the first time, man. Because I'd auditioned for all the Shakespeare companies here in Albuquerque, and they were like, that was really good, but you're like you're like a dark Mexican. You're not even like a Spaniard Mexican. You're like and I used to hurt my feelings, man, but they wouldn't cast me.
Oh, really?
No. And I did well at Eastern. They casted me at Eastern because I earned it. Yeah. But in the real world, it was different, man. And so, me and you come from the real world where you have to create for yourself. Yeah. You got to. You would even as far as did what I did is create your own comedy nights, your own open. You did whatever you could to do to get the work in to build the name, right? So when you did get a break, you were ready for that break, right? I tell people that all the time, Kirk. I said, in our business, you're right. It's 10% talent and 90% luck, right? But if you don't bust your ass on that 10% talent, if you don't work on that constantly, that luck never happens. Yeah. You'll never get the luck. It won't happen, right? And so that's where we're at, right? So that's why when I walked in to audition for Breaking Bad, I was ready, man. It was a lifetime of work that got me in the room,
When did you get starting in film acting?
So film was in like 2005.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah. I quit, I just went to comedy, man. Comedy made a little bit of money. Not a lot, but a little bit. I'd be able to pay some bills, keep my car running, stuff like that. I just 2005, Curt, man, I was fried of driving around, man. Yeah. Fried of having to drive to Texas and Colorado and Arizona.
You see the same thing over and over. It kind of burns you out.
My kids were getting older, man, and it was just like, and my wife could see it that I was just getting fried, and I just didn't think I'd ever get fried, of comedy. But and it wasn't the comedy that I was fried from. I was fried from the travel. Yeah. And the abuse that you put on your body to be that comic. And so this friend of mine, who I'd done a couple of plays for at the Vortex Theater, he had transitioned himself and he bought one of the talent agencies here in Albuquerque. And I had done a couple of plays for him that he had written. And so he reached out to me saying, hey, I bought this talent agency. I need some actors. And I told him, oh man, I don't,
Mm-hmm.
because that was, and even in 2005, there wasn't a whole lot of opportunities for Latino actors. There was,
Yeah.
you'd see like five roles a year.
Mm-hmm.
And you had 5 million people auditioning for 5 roles a year, man. I mean, you had better shot at a lottery ticket, man.
Mm-hmm.
Than trying to become an actor. But he was a friend of mine. I said, shit. So I went and scraped some money together, went and took a headshot, right? Got some copies, not very good copies, but got some copies, gave them to him. I go, okay, signed with him. And then he got me on an audition like a week later, man. I was like, he sent me to go do an audition, and it was First Snow. So First Snow was with Guy Pearce, and it was written by Hawk Ostby and Mark Fergus, the guys who later wrote Children of Men and a couple of the Iron Man movies. And they do they have a really cool show on Sci-Fi. The title eludes me right now, but I mean, these guys ended up being big timers. This was their first movie. They're already known as writers, but this was their first solo venture or whatever, First Snow. And I walked in and I read, and then they called me back like the next day. And then I came in to do the callback, and they had a whole table, Curt, of people. They had like them and the producer. I'd never been to an audition where they had everybody there and then a camera, sitting on the table. And I came in and I was like, whoa, because I'd never seen that many people in an audition. And they go, you all right, Steven? And I go, well, I am now, but shit, I thought I was at a parole hearing, man. And they all started laughing, right? And because I was relaxed, right? Because of all the years of comedy, I was comfortable in my own skin, man. I didn't have that, that heart, I didn't feel nervous. I came in with the confidence that, if they want me, I'm here. And if they don't, I don't give a shit. I've already grown a thick skin. I don't care. And so I read and I heard, Mark turn to Hawk and said, see, I told you, I love this guy, man. And that was it, right? That was my first role. And
That's cool, man.
So boom, I got in, 6 lines in the beginning of a movie. And I got to work with Guy Pearce. I mean, how cool is that? And again, going back to what we said earlier, once you start working, people want to work with you. That's just the way it is, right?
Yeah.
So that went from that to another small role, to another small role, to another small role. And then I walked into a room with Vince Gilligan. And
that kind of changed things for you.
That was the game changer.
And that's only a few years after, huh?
Yeah.
Was that 2008?
2007
when
they cast that, yeah.
Okay.
Shot the pilot in 2007, yeah.
Cool, man.
And yeah, man, that was that was the game changer. That was but you know what? I missed comedy.
Yeah.
After I didn't have comedy for that amount of time, like the first 6 months filming season 1, I was like, I need to go back to comedy. But what was cool now is I was able to fly now.
Yeah.
Which made it a little better. It's still just as brutal. Time-wise, it's just at least you're not there,
Yeah.
But you're like in an airport, because there's no direct flights out of Albuquerque anymore.
No.
Well, there is. There's Albuquerque has 2 direct flights. One's to heaven and the other one's to hell. So be careful on what plane you get on, man.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because I'm telling you, man, you always got to fly somewhere with a 3-4 hour layover, or it's 20 minutes, taking off 20 minutes after you get off the other flight. You're running through. You're doing the O.J. Simpson through the airport, man, and it's just brutal on you, man. I went in and started doing the Carnival cruises.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, man, that travel is completely brutal.
Is it?
Yeah. They don't, because they have to get the cheapest ticket possible. And, you know, you'll fly to 2 cities before you even get to your destination.
Uh-huh.
And you're just exhausted, man. You've been traveling for 12 hours. You get to the ship and you have, you know, 2 shows that night.
Mm-hmm.
And your body's just like numb from traveling, and you just want to lay flat, you know, just want to lay down flat, you know. Cool was about the car is that if you got tired, you could pull over, actually sleep, you know.
Yeah.
And the planes, it's just, you know, you're sleeping, you know, it's not comfortable. It's just brutal. So it has its own brutality to it, I think. But you know, but I love making people laugh, Curt. I'm just addicted to it, man.
It is addicting, man. It's like I remember my first laugh I ever got on stage, and it was just like I was so hooked right then.
But you're like, that's when you realize you found where you're supposed to be.
Yeah. So I even remember my first laugh, like getting my first big laugh in kindergarten. And I remember this girl spitting milk through her nose. That was awesome. I was like, yeah.
Yeah. Heck yeah. That's the, yeah. And I, you know, I wasn't really a clown in school per se, but in high school I was doing Arsenic and Old Lace. And I played Teddy, the guy who thought he was Theodore Roosevelt. He was burying the bodies in the basement. And I had rehearsed with a cigar, but I never really lit the cigar. Opening night, our high school director of the theater department, she told me, tonight for opening night, I want you to pull the cigar out, light it. I said, okay, great. And this was the first play I'd ever done. I was so nervous, man. So I get out and I'm in the scene, but I didn't have many lines in the opening. It's the 2 little old ladies who are killing everybody with arsenic. And then I'm their brother and I'm burying them down in the basement. Right. And so I'm sitting there and I'm smoking the cigar, and I pull the wrapper off, and they're doing their dialogue. Right. And I put the wrapper and I put it in the ashtray, and I light the cigar. Right. And then I went like that with the match, and I thought I'd blew the match out, but I didn't. I put it in the ashtray. It caught the wrapper on fire and went into a flame, right? And I was like, you know, so I was like, I just did that to put it out, and the audience roared. I mean, roared, man. I mean, just a roar, right? A good roar. And that's when I knew, man.
Yeah.
That this is where I belong. This is who I'm supposed to be. You know, after all of these years in band, right?
Yeah.
I found where I was supposed to be. No wonder I was crappy in every instrument I tried to play. I wasn't supposed to be a musician. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that laugh, people don't realize what that laugh will do to your soul, man. To you, well, and for them too, you know, they benefit from that. Everybody benefits from laughter, man.
Oh yeah.
And, you know, and so it's such a we're the doctors, man. Now, you know, we go into a comedy club where people come to be healed, man, to forget their problems for, you know, 2 hours. We're a part of that, man.
I love hearing that after a show, man. I love people thank you for making them forget about all the bullshit for a while, you know. That's cool. Man.
Or even laugh at the bullshit, right?
Yeah.
You know, we bring up the bullshit, but we have to laugh at the bullshit. That's the that's where the healing begins, man. Where, you know, and then we talk about other shit, right? We forget about it too, but you know, I'm more comfortable in front of, you know, crowds of people than I am in front of a camera.
Yeah.
A camera makes me so freaking nervous, man. I'm just, I still have to calm myself down in my dressing room. I still have to breathe because I know I'm going to go face that damn camera, man. And you can't lie to a camera.
Yeah.
You can't bullshit a camera, man. It picks up everything, man. You know, and it's like, and it's forever. Right. So comedy, if I freaking bomb, you know, it hurts my feelings, but you know what? I come back the next day. It never happens 2 days in a row, man.
Yeah.
And it never
people always forget about that too.
Yeah.
You know, but if you do a shitty movie or do shitty in a movie,
it's forever.
Yeah.
Done. Yeah. There's no going back. You can't call them and go, yeah, I just saw the movie, man. Can I redo my scenes? You know? No, dude. You know?
Yeah.
Shit.
Man. Yeah, I haven't thought of that. Thought of it like that because I just moved back to Albuquerque, so I was thinking about getting an agent and stuff and trying out some acting.
I think you should, man. I think now that Netflix is here, there's, you know, look, I've done this weekend. I did 5 auditions.
Oh, wow.
And 2 of them were for, you know, projects here in Albuquerque.
Oh, cool, man. Are you doing, are they online auditions? Or?
Yeah, you're taping them, you know.
Okay, so, cool.
It's just a way to tape them. I've gotten a skill set where I can record it, go to iMovie, lay it down, and then do the voiceover of the other lines.
Oh, cool.
And then I lower the other lines so they're not so prominent to my you know, because they want to hear what your performance is.
Yeah.
And I've gotten really good at it, man. I think I got a call back on one already, man.
Cool.
So, you know,
that's
not the gig yet, but it's really close to the gig.
Yeah.
I had 3 movies in the queue for this year, but I'm hoping that they shoot them next year and that they're still on my list of.
Yeah, gigs. I hope so too, man.
Yeah, but I'm optimistic that it will. I'm optimistic.
Yeah, I'm sure it will.
One wasn't supposed to shoot till like November, December. So.
Oh yeah.
That still may be, you know, still may be the case. Is what I'm hoping.
I hope so, man. I helped Del Mon do an audition.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was auditioning for a Tyler Perry movie, and he needed someone to run lines with him, so I went over to his place and helped him out.
Oh,
it was pretty fun, yeah.
Yeah, it's fun, man. Acting's cool, man. But I totally think you should be, man. I don't think you should limit yourself now. I think now that you're comfortable, right? Now that you're comfortable with being a comic, I think you're definitely, it's time to try. They all do. They all do, Curt. All comics do, because it's just another opportunity to, you know, to be an artist, and it's fun. It's, you know, once you get them under your belt, I'm more confident in front of the camera now than I used to be.
Yeah.
You know, when I talk about how I was really nervous at first. Now I just know that I need to show that. I can tell that when I go in with the same confidence I do as a comedian, the performance, you could just see the difference.
Man. Oh, I bet, man.
Oh yeah.
I was always afraid I was going to be a bad actor, and I was talking to I was performing with Finesse Mitchell, who was on SNL, and because he was the one that told me I should get into acting, and I told him, I was like, man, I don't know if I'm a good actor. He's like, you don't have to be. He's like, you can find a role where you're just like the sarcastic friend or just delivering one-liners all show. I was like, yeah, I could do that easy, you know. So he was the one that kind of opened my eye to that, you know, to getting into acting.
You don't know what they're looking for.
Yeah, no idea.
You don't get to choose that. Right?
Yeah.
We don't get to choose, you know. So I audition all the time. You know, I get less than 1% of what I audition for.
Yeah. Because,
you know, they know what they're looking for. They look at everybody, and then you know, whatever strikes them to what they were thinking of closest. If you have the chops to do it, that's how you end up kind of getting the role. That's just the way it works, man. It's not, you know, so why not throw your ring in the hat, man? I mean, like, hat in the ring. I mean, you know, why not do it, right? Because
got nothing to lose.
You have the exact same odds as everybody. No matter their experience, no matter if they've been an actor since they were 6 years old, none of that matters, man. It's all about the art and what the director wants and the producer. It's all about what they vision in their mind. And it could be someone who's been acting for a year, or it could be someone who's been acting 30 years. None of that matters to them, man. It's about the art. What they like is that you've done a few things, right? So that they like that you've done a few things. But other than that, it's not, you know, you don't have to be, you know, I mean, I know for a fact that for Breaking Bad, I was up against two guys who were big time actors.
Oh yeah,
to play that role. Yeah,
that's cool, man.
yeah. And and it was just Vince's vision that I was the guy.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, you played it perfect, man. I love that role.
That what he envisioned Gomez looking like was me. That's how I was the perfect height.
Oh yeah.
Right, because Dean's 5'7", and I'm 5'7". So if I'd been 6'2" and made Dean look, they would have never casted me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
for sure.
All of it has to fall into place, man. That's why you never know why you didn't get it, and you probably really don't know why you did get it. You're just happy you got it, and you go do it, and that's it. So, that would definitely be my suggestion to you too, man. There's local agents. Just submit your stuff, man.
Yeah, I will for sure.
Yeah, put me down as a reference.
All right.
Write them a letter, man, and put me down as a reference.
I appreciate it, man.
Because I know you could figure it out rather
quick.
Quick.
Yeah, I've done some independent films, and those are great, man. Those are a lot of fun. Yeah.
Well, my favorite roles that I've done. I don't know if you got a chance to see Wishman.
Yeah, I did. Yep, on Netflix.
And that was a
great
little independent film, and I loved playing that character. That character was just
a
nice, cool, heartwarming guy, man, and it was good to be able to pull that off, right? And do that with sincerity, right? And those are the hard ones, man. And I really enjoyed. I was very fortunate to be able to be in Wishman. I thought, man. I thought they did a good job.
Yeah. I forgot to mention that movie earlier. I forgot the name of it. But you told me about that when we hung out in Cedar Rapids, and I went and watched it on Netflix. Yeah, great movie.
It's a good family movie, man.
It is. Yeah, I watched it with my cousin. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Great, man.
Yeah. That was cool, man.
Perfect. And you, what's going on? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I've got a decent amount of shows booked. Mostly outdoor stuff this month, and then got a couple clubs next month, and just started up this podcast. Just trying to work as much as possible, just being creative, putting out content and stuff like that. So,
well, that's what it'll do. It'll force us to, think outside the box.
Yeah. Because I didn't do shit for 2 months, man. Like I didn't know what to do. April and May.
Yeah, I did.
I just 4 months had no clue.
I did one, and then now I haven't done nothing. So it'll be,
Yeah.
I don't have nothing on the books. Maybe that movie in December. These auditions, they're going to start shooting these soon, though. There's new, SAG guidelines, for COVID, but they're allowing productions to go in. So, everybody will probably be wearing the mask and
for sure
sanitizer everywhere. They'll probably bring you in and out on set only when they need you.
Yeah.
I mean, they kind of do that anyway, and you probably just have to stay in your trailer or whatever. But as long as you're working, man, that's all I want to do is I just want to work. But I do want to go out and do my comedy. I hope I could book those rooms that I had booked.
Yeah, I'm sure you will, man.
I just hope they survive. That's the hard part. That hey, we're ready to go, but if the club's not there,
one of the Hyenas clubs closed, and the one in Plano.
Oh, did he? He closed the one in Plano?
Yeah. That sucks.
That does, man, because I like playing all three of those clubs.
Yeah, they're great clubs, man.
Yeah, I did too. I love them, man. Yeah, those are good guys too, man. Those are that's the same thing we were talking about earlier. The guys who live week to week.
Yeah.
With the success of their clubs, man.
And Randy grew up in Albuquerque too.
Yeah, they're Albuquerque guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
They sure are, man. Yeah. And me and my wife are this close to opening a club, man.
Oh, really?
The old Uptown Funk where I shot my comedy.
Yeah.
I'm still pitching that, by the way. That's still got some people are still going, okay, you're not out. We're not going to sign a contract with you yet, but you're not out. We still like it. I shot that up there at Uptown Funk, and
cool.
We were going to turn that because he moved to a new location, and we were gonna take the risk, man. And then COVID hit, and we're like, we're out.
Well, now that Netflix is here, you should go in there and talk to them about doing a special. I was thinking about do that, like strapping a bomb to myself and
saying, hey, you need to do me a special right now.
Yeah, right now.
Cameras back there, don't you? And a light. All I need is a camera and a light, man. Come on now. Well, we did talk to Netflix,
Yeah.
So, they still haven't said no.
Okay.
It came out really good, man. It looks really good,
Cool.
A great crowd. We shot it, 4K. I brought in, the pros, but at the end of the day, it didn't really cost me. And, I did it with Mark from Lessman's,
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And, he's always produced my stuff. I didn't want to leave him out of this one,
Yeah.
We've never really been able to sell anything before, but we thought this might be our best shot,
Mm-hmm.
at selling something. So I brought him in and, we brought in, good lighting guys. And I mean, it looks good, man. And it looks like in a comedy club, which I wanted. I didn't want it to look like a theater, like a theater one, but more of a comedy club one. So it does have that look. So
That's awesome.
And everybody liked it. Even when I showed it to my agent in LA, she's like, I've never seen you do the whole gig before,
Oh, yeah.
She only saw me on Arsenio Hall. She was there with my wife. She was with my wife backstage at Arsenio Hall. But other than that, she's never really seen me do a set, She goes, that was so funny. And she goes, what was cool is I felt like I was in the audience with you.
Uh-huh.
You see those ones in the theater and you don't really, there's that disconnect,
Uh-huh.
But the way we shot this, it was just like you were like right there,
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So we like the way we did it. That's what I think is keeping us in the game. And again,
Yeah.
I can't work around here because my fingers are always like this, But I've been just going crazy. I have some regrets of what I told my wife in the past. One of them is, honey, I'll do that when I have time. I regret that. I'm just telling you right now. I think whoever's watching your podcast, they need to take that out of their vocabulary. Don't use that as a response to your wife, man, because you might find yourself here with a whole lot of time. And I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
Our house is just like immaculate. I reorganized the garage, the shed, the backyard. I've built some stuff, I mean, I'm just telling you, I'm exhausted and I need to go to work because I can't do no more honeydews, man. I'm just tired, man.
Yeah, I hear you. I've been taking out the trash for my mom for a few months. It sucks.
Oh, yeah, that's a tough one, Curt. I could tell. Well, your right arm looks buff, though.
I'm doing
left one, man. Yeah.
Well, that's for different reasons, probably.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's sort of kind of like taking out the trash.
Yeah. No one else is going to do it.
That's right. You got to get it out of there somewhere, man.
Oh, man, it's been awesome talking to you. I already hit the 45-minute mark. It went by fast.
Okay. All right. Yeah, cool, man.
Dude, I would love to have you on again because there's so many things I wanted to talk about and we didn't get to. And
for sure, man. You let me know, man.
Again sometime.
Like you said, I can't lie to you now. I already told you I ain't got shit on my calendar.
You got plenty of time. Where can people find you on the internet? Social media, stuff like that.
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Those are the three. I'm busy enough trying to look at that crap.
Yeah.
But yeah, and if people follow me, I appreciate it. Because that helps us in our career. I didn't know that.
Absolutely.
Now.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
It's like, my agent's like, well, when we were pitching the comedy special, they're like, well, they would have liked you to have a lot more followers on Instagram and Twitter. And I'm like,
yeah, it's so stupid.
I go, really? So me being on the #1 show ever made that's not good enough?
Yeah.
How's that not good enough, man? I don't understand how that's not enough. But obviously it's not enough. So yeah. So I'd appreciate, people out there listening to your podcast is go, Stephen Michael Quezada. It's pretty easy to find.
Yeah, it's super easy.
Yeah, I know those are hard to spell, but
I'll put it up over your face there. I'll
right here.
I'll put it right over your face.
Please, that'll help this. But hey, man, I'm hoping to get back on the road with you, man, and so we can do some gigs again.
Absolutely, yeah, I'd love that.
Yeah. So as soon as we start booking some stuff, I'll get some dates. I'll shoot them towards you, and you can tell me if you're available.
Cool, I appreciate it, buddy.
Back on the road, man. Make people laugh, man.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, because people don't realize me and you, we have 2 different styles, man.
Totally different.
But we kill them, man.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that was awesome. All right.
Heck yeah, man.
Okay, so hit me up whenever you want, man, and we'll continue to talk, man. No
Absolutely, for sure. Okay? All right, thanks so much, Steven.
You're welcome. I'll talk to you soon, bro.
All right, take care, buddy.
All right, buddy.
Bye-bye. Hey, thanks to everyone for tuning in, either watching on YouTube or listening on SoundCloud or Apple or whatever. That was a super fun episode talking to Steven. He's always been a good dude. Known him for a long time. So we've done a lot of shows together and stuff. A lot of stuff I didn't get to talk about that I wanted to. So hopefully he'll come on again and we'll get to talk about that. He used to host a show called the After Party, which was like a late night talk show, which I've talked about it on a couple episodes here. Just such a fun show, and he would always bring in actors from Breaking Bad and stuff. So it was cool to see all those people, especially when the show was still on the air. So it was like super popular, so that was really cool. So yeah, it's been a fun week performing. I got to perform in Cheyenne, Wyoming, Friday night, which was a lot of fun. It was a little different crowd than I was expecting because I'd performed in Cheyenne before, and it was a little different, so I had to adjust my material on the fly, kind of. And it went well, which was nice. And they were social distancing. The crowd was, the tables were spread out and everything, but it was a good sized room, so it was a good crowd, good turnout, and got to work with Brad Bonner, which was a lot of fun. He's a comedian magician out of Sacramento, and it's just a good time. And got some other shows coming up this month. I'm doing some outdoor shows. This Saturday, the 19th, I'll be in Cortez, Colorado, doing a show. And then I've got an outdoor show in Albuquerque on the 25th at Enchanted Circle Brewery. And then the 26th, I have an outdoor show in Las Cruces, New Mexico. I don't know the venue just yet, but I'll post it up on my website and Facebook and everything when I do. All right, that's it for this week. Thanks for tuning in again. If you want to subscribe and all that, you could do that. That'd be cool. If you want to donate to the podcast, you can. You can just Venmo me at Funny Fletcher. And yeah, that's it for this week. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.